Well, hello there folks and welcome back to the channel. Thanks very much for clicking on the actual video. So basically I'm out at the Bushcraft camp today, as you can actually see, and I'm going to have a wee bit of fun. Now, what's happened in the last couple of weeks is we've actually been out, myself and my mate, and we've actually been planting the vegetables at the actual shelter itself. So I'm going to show you them in a wee minute, but I've got a bit of a plan for today. One of my concerns is the fact that deer might come down, or alternatively other animals might actually come down and sort of destroy the raised beds. So that's going to be the focus for the actual next couple of days, just actually protecting them and building a bit of a sort of gate system around the actual bed itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish off actually setting up camp, and then I'll take you over to the actual beds, show you what we've actually done, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so what we've done is the two raised beds that I've had for absolutely ages, and I've just been doing sort of composting, so it was very much just sort of early stages, putting leaves in, things like that, and then sort of food peelings, etc. So I've been sort of doing composting, then putting earth in, and then putting in an actual layer of compost. So as I said, I think it was about a week and a half ago, so we've actually got vegetables put in either one of them. So really impressive, so hopefully get a decent crop out of them. So I'll show you them both just now. So on this one we've got carrots just on the actual end there. I've then got beetroot, I've then got garlic, and I've got spinach, and then I've got strawberry plants just on the actual outside. So again, hopefully get a really decent crop of the likes of the carrots, etc. And again, it's just really been a case of sort of learning about harvesting them, etc., and just sort of finding out how the whole thing actually works, which has just been absolutely fascinating. And then on this one here we've actually got potatoes. So hopefully get a decent crop of potatoes out there. So I'm just waiting for the actual first lots of flowers, etc., to actually be able to sort of see them, and then it's really just a case of actually putting the compost back on it again. So really pleased, really looking forward to it. It's one of those sort of things, a little bit self-reliance, really excited about the whole project. So that's it, really excited about it. I'm just, it's amazing that experience of actually even just watching them just in a week and a half. I've been up at camp a couple of times just to actually see how they're getting on. And it is super exciting. It's something I've never ever done before. So really excited about this project. It's going to be a real good one. But what I don't want to go and happen is I actually end up getting this, it actually ends up growing, etc., and the deer come in and take it, or alternatively other animals. So what I've decided to do, and the main object of the actual weekend, is I'm going to be building gravity fences on either side, and then I'm just going to put the gate that I actually built a couple of years ago just across the actual front. Concept is to just try and sort of deter the deer in any way. So it's more the lights off on both of them. So if I can actually have some sort of system around them just to the actual edge of the actual shelter itself. So as I said, what I'm going to do just now is going to get the gloves on, get the saw, and we'll head off up into the actual woods and get some material for the actual fences itself. So one thing I'm going to have to do before I actually do that, just for my actual gate, the gate was one of the things that was actually damaged in the storm. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just pop out the actual rivets that I had in there, or the actual twigs that I had holding the whole thing together, and then actually just redo it so that I've actually got the facility to be able to sort of use this as the actual gate itself, just to sort of stop the animals getting in. That one might be reusable. So that's the actual gate itself. So the idea behind it is the gate's going to be sort of the central part, obviously, and then it's going to have the two gravity fences down the actual side of it. I mean, I don't think I'm going to have too much in the way of hassle with deer, but it's more just a case of if I can try and discourage it at all, I will. You know, so I'm going to take this over, try and get an idea on the spacing before I actually go up into the actual woods and get the materials. Well, what can I say? That was hard work. But this is where the real hard work starts. So you'll be able to see when I get over there as to why I need so much. Because as I said, within the gravity fence itself, you've got to make lots of V's as it actually goes up. So I reckon I'm probably going to need enough, or the amount that I've actually got there. But the cutting off it's easy bit is getting it all back to camp. So I'm not going to video this. I will get over there with all this and actually just start doing it. The other two things that I actually need, or four things, is the Ys, which again I'll show you why, if you get it. So basically within that I actually need the four Ys, two for each gate, which is the actual starting point where you actually put your first actual beam. But that's it. I'm just going to get everything over, and then I'm going to get back up into the woods and try and see if I can find the Ys. So that's it. This is definitely the hardest bit, actually taking all the materials back to actually camp itself. So this is me, I'm on my last trip just now, but that's been what, 4 trips just to try and get all the actual materials back again. Whew. And it's not easy because it is more sort of lump it in your shoulder and actually sort of get back. But as I said, I think I've got enough materials now to actually get the whole thing finished with what I've actually got there, so that should be good. Okay, I'll meet you back at camp. Okay, so that's all the components actually there. Only thing I was really struggling with was actually the Ys themselves. There just wasn't that much in the way up in the actual woodland. So what I'm going to do is just sort of lay everything out, just to sort of get it all spaced up, and then actually just wedge off the actual end of the Ys itself, just for actually making the very, very start of the actual the gravity fences, and then we'll get going. So I'm just going to lay everything out just now. So there we go, so that's it. So gravity fence, and then just the actual gate. And I can just take that gate away every time I want to sort of get into it to actually work on it. Like I said, that'll just protect it from the actual deer itself. I'm just going to do a wee bit of fine tweaking, and then we'll call it finished. So basically it's just got the actual the fences on either side there, and it's just gravity fences, so it's all sort of held together, no twine, no rope, no nothing. And then I've just got my gate just there, just protecting the actual potatoes and all the other vegetables and the strawberries, etc. And I said, the main sort of thing is deer more than anything. I don't think I'd have an issue with anything else actually coming. I could conceivably across the actual bottom sort of try and tidy that up and actually make a bit of an actual barrier there. But I don't really think I need to, in all honesty. Now it is definitely beer o'clock. Well, what can I say? That was brilliant fun. Really enjoyed that. Hard work, but really, really enjoyed that. I just love building. It just gives me such a buzz. Actually making things, but really just making things out of natural materials. And again, a gravity bridge. I'll go into it in a bit more detail. Um, I'll sort of show you the way it actually all sort of links together. But it is basically just the weight of all the components actually weigh it all down. So you don't have to use twine or anything at all. I said that was a little bit harder than I thought it was maybe going to be. And I think it was more just a case of I think I needed to actually just actually sharpen off the actual bottom of the sticks, the support sticks, so I could hammer them in. Because there was a couple of times when they kept on sort of moving around. Apart from that, brilliant fun, brilliant fun. So I said, cracked open my first beer already. So gonna sit here, chill out for another few minutes, and then get some dinner on. And I'm gonna be cooking burgers tonight, and I'm gonna make the burgers myself. I know you're all surprised, but as I said, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be the first time I've actually made burgers. Um, and also, I'm actually going to be using a rolling pin tonight. Now, this rolling pin actually means quite a lot to me because basically it was actually I went to a craft fair and the young lad, this little 14-year-old boy, had actually made piles of stuff and was selling it at the actual craft fair. So I actually bought this rolling pin, and it's the first time I've actually used it for doing something like this. So again, all those sort of things. As I said, it's brilliant. Just to have somebody as young as that actually into bushcraft and whittling and everything as well. So hat off them. So as I said, just gonna finish this one, and then get myself organised, get the fire going, and we'll catch up with you. I know, as per usual, I'll get a slagging for how I'm cutting this, but again, I'm quite a functional person. As long as it actually cuts up, I am happy. Well, what can I say? That was a bit of a disaster. That's probably the biggest disaster I've had cooking at camp. So if anyone can pop in the comments below as to what I did wrong there. So basically it was weird because one burger stayed together, the other one sort of disintegrated a little bit. So was that too much egg or was that what? And would it have been better with flour? But as I said, the main thing is they taste okay. And also it's fully cooked. So as I said, I'm just going to finish this and then maybe crack open another beer, and then it's just going to be a case of relaxing tonight. Still no clear sky, it's still a little bit overcast at the moment, so fingers crossed it does sort of clear up later on. This particular spot here at the actual picnic table, you just get such a good view off up into the actual stars. So I've got the lantern, I've got the Uco light, so if it does end up being a star shot, I'm just going to sit, chill here, and actually just watch that view. Okay, just going to finish this. So this is quite often the bit of the night that I actually really enjoy, just the birds sort of singing just as they're sort of settling down. So it is lovely. So it's going to be a good night tonight, apart from maybe the owl, but let's hopefully the owl's not here tonight. But I'm just going to turn the camera around and actually just go through the gravity fences, just sort of explain how it works. Just in case anyone's not done it. If you have done it, you'll know how it actually works itself. But I'm just going to turn it around and I'll show you. So basically, to start off with, you've just got a Y stick, and that's the sort of first beam that goes across, and then all the rest of the actual beams actually just rest on sticks as you lie them on. And then again, when you go up another layer, it's just slightly longer sticks. So everything just actually carries its own weight, and everything just actually, that's why it's called a gravity fence, because it all actually just holds itself together. Now the actual gate itself, I'd actually made that a couple of years ago, but I've always wanted to actually try and use it. And then again, obviously the fence on the other side, but it gives me plenty of room to actually be able to go in and then actually sort of harvest the vegetables itself. But hopefully it'll just sort of protect it from deer, etc. as well. It's mainly deer. Because as I said, this is quite a big woodland. And I have seen them down here before, so better to get it protected. So as I said, the other thing with this time of night is there's not really much to actually do. So I am going to sort of chill out a little bit of reading, and then I'll sort of catch up with you later on just as I'm putting the fire on. And actually just sort of sit in front of the actual open fire, which will be nice, although it is going to be in the twig stove. But as I said, it is this absolutely gorgeous night, but it's still not clearing. So I don't think I'm going to get the star show I was really looking for. Okay, but I'm just going to get my bedding, all that sort of things all sorted out for later on. Again, I've got the Gore-Tex bivvy because it is meant to be raining tonight, and raining into tomorrow as well, so it might be a bit of a wet morning. So I'm going to get all my gear actually inside up to the back of the actual shelter as well. So I'll catch you up later on once I've actually got the fire on, and we can enjoy a little bit of ambient light. So I've got an owl just in the actual trees, just along from me just now. He seems as if he's flown in the other direction. Well, what can I say? That's been an incredibly relaxing evening. Just sort of sat in front of the actual fire, just sort of chilling out. Really enjoyable. Unfortunately, no stars. It does seem to sort of clouded over at the moment, so a bit unfortunate, but I'll keep an eye on it. So basically, when I'm actually lying in bed, I can actually see the actual stars, or alternatively the sky. So fingers crossed that I might get some stars later on. But as I said, barring any incident, I shall see you all in the morning. Well, good morning. That was such a good sleep. Really good sleep. Owls weren't too bad, which is an absolute bonus. But I've woken up to a rather dreich day. It's just been absolutely pouring rain all night. But it didn't really affect my actual sleep at all. Although I did end up finding there was a tiny little hole just in the actual top. So I got a couple of drips through during the actual night. But apart from that, really good. But as I said, it's meant to be pouring with rain all day today. So it's not going to be an incredibly adventurous day. So I'm going to get some breakfast on just now. So I've got bros with me. So really looking forward to that. Sort of traditional Scottish breakfast. So a wee bit of bros and then a bit of a sort of chill out. A couple of wee projects that I've actually got today. I want to make a new table in here. So basically I'll show you the table just when I'm actually getting it prepped. But basically the wee table that I've got there is a bit rickety and all that sort of things. So I want to try and see if I can get myself something a little bit more substantial, or make something a little bit more substantial. So we'll get that done. But as I said, it's going to get the fire on just now. So I have to say, I just absolutely love Bros. I tend to have it an awful lot at home. It sort of really fills you up for the actual day. So it's actually just pinhead oatmeal, and then it's a wee pinch of salt, and then a wee bit of butter, and I tend to just use a spoonful of butter. But as I say, really, really good, and it's nice on a morning like this as well, when it's sort of damp and cold, and just sort of warms you up. So the weather seems to have stayed off. I'm sort of checking up north, it doesn't seem quite so bad. I'm going to check the weather forecast in a wee bit, just to make sure the weather's going to be okay for me doing a couple of wee bits that I was wanting to do. That said, one of the main things I was wanting to do is a table inside the actual shelter. But I'm just going to finish this and then I'll catch up.
So this is what I'm actually wanting to replace. So basically what I'm finding, it's just a little bit, you know, you put stuff on it at night and it sort of collapses. It's also just a little bit rickety. So I'm actually going to go into the woodland and try and see what materials I can actually find to do it. But I have a bit of an idea as to what I'm actually going to try and hunt for. That said, it's been good, but I'm just going to use that and recycle it all and actually just cut it all down for actual firewood. Again, it's just perfect sort of twig stove sort of thickness. So I've decided to look for it's more sort of the tree stumps, the sort of bases, etc. as well. There's so much actually sort of trees cut down around here. So I'm just going to have a little wander around and actually see if I can find anything. The other option I've actually got is one of the videos I just did where I was doing the sort of gear review of the Wild Camper International stoves. I managed to find a big bit there, so I might actually take that over and actually put it in. But it's basically just an actual table for beside the actual Pioneer chair, and then actually one in the shelter. It's just more where I can put my glasses, I can put my mobile, GoPros, etc. as well, just at night. So let's have a little wander around, see what we can find. See, even things like that would just be absolutely perfect. Just as an actual table. And then using that. So that could actually go inside the shelter, and that could actually go beside the actual Pioneer chair. So we've got that too, but we've got a massive forest to look round. And there's the actual shelter itself. So I said I'll just have a wee wander around, try and see what I can actually find, and then just get it back to the shelter. Well, that's been another fantastic trip. Really enjoyed it. I love overnighters out here. It's just so calm. So it was actually great just getting the actual table here. I've always been wanting to try and get something sorted out, table inside, and also the actual gravity fences around the actual raised beds. So it's been quite a productive little actual trip, as well as a really good sleep last night, so feeling really refreshed. But I'm just going to slowly pack up and get myself back out of the actual forest. But as I said, I just want to say a massive thank you just for watching. It's very much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Okay, take care and have fun.